morning, everybody. Welcome back to Sunshine Acres. I'm Jason.
I'm Kara.
We have a rainy Sunday here at the property, and we're into part 2 of the garden harvest videos. As you can tell, this is what Miss Kara went through and picked yesterday. There's a couple things in here from earlier in the week, but yeah, as you can tell, we're up to our ears in it, and we're doing everything we can. We've already showed you in the past video dehydrating.
Yep.
And quick pickling. So we'll get to what we've already done before today, this week, pulling stuff out of the dehydrator, as well as freezing some peppers. So I'm going to continue to work on slicing for the dehydrator and peppers that will freeze, and you're going to get into some really cool stuff today. So tell them what you're going to be doing, Miss Kara.
Well, my first attempt at water bath canning, which doesn't sound too difficult. And the next step after that would be pressure canning, but we're not there yet. So we're gonna do water bath canning with all of these pickles. And we have a lot that are appropriate and some that we let grow too long and they look like this. So I'm not sure how they're gonna turn out, but we're gonna give it a shot. And then I'm also gonna do some more of the, where you don't have to put the jar in the water bath, you just pour hot vinegar on it. I think we showed that before.
Yeah, a little quick pickling.
Yep, so that's going to be for the jalapenos and the banana peppers. And then I'm going to do some more of the quick dill pickles in the fridge that have to be consumed within a couple of weeks with the gigantic cucumbers that came out of our garden. I think this one's the biggest. Yeah, they're kind of crazy, but I'm excited how good our veggies have turned out this year. So those are my 3 jobs, and it's probably going to take us a few hours to get all this done, I would think.
Take most of the afternoon. So,
yeah.
So come along, and also please leave a comment. We're kind of newbies to a lot of this stuff, so I'm sure a lot of the viewers out there have dealt with this and probably have some hints and tips that they could give us. So please leave a comment and let us know what we're screwing up.
Well, I know one thing ahead of time that I am going to screw up, so no need to comment on it. I really wanted fresh dill for these pickles, but out in the country you don't always find everything you want. The store did not have fresh dill. So there will be dill weed used instead. So don't say, why is she doing that? I wanted fresh dill, but they didn't have any, so that's why I'm doing it. But other than that, yeah, it's first time water bath canning, so tips and tricks of the trade, please feel free to comment and let me know. Thanks.
Come along. Okay, so we got 2 pans of peppers cut, and we're just gonna flash freeze these guys before we seal them up. Put those guys in the freezer. There we go, 2 bags of peppers. I got a feeling there'll be many more of this, so I hope this works.
So the dishwasher just finished sterilizing our jars, and I didn't realize our dishwasher actually has a sterilized setting. So that's cool. Now we are going to start boiling the water here so that once we pour our brine and our pickles in the jars, they're going to go in this boiling water. And some people have a little nifty tool to take the jars out. We need to order one. We don't have one yet. But I'm going to use this basket. That way we can pull the basket out. And the jars will go in the basket. So I just need to put one in here for a test and make sure that I have enough water to fully submerge the jar and allow for a little extra space on top in case we evaporate any water. And that'll be a lot of water, so that'll take a while to get that boiling. And then I'm going to start making up the brine in a minute, and we'll show you that. Thanks. All right, so the water is boiling right now. Again, we are doing water bath canning method. So there's no pressure involved, but you are going to submerge the jars in the boiling water. And it's a big pot, it's gonna take a minute, but I'm gonna start mixing up the brine that we're gonna pour on top of the pickles. And for this recipe, I got off the Ball website, and we are going to be using 4 cups of water, which I already put in my pan, 4 cups of vinegar, and I have this White House apple cider vinegar that was recommended by a friend to be a good one to use. We've got half a cup of the Ball pickling salt and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And we're gonna put that all together in here. You can also put like a bag of pickling spice in here if you want, but I'm gonna put the spices directly into the jars, and we'll show that next. So, Jason just went in the other room. It's a good time to pour vinegar because he does not like the smell of vinegar. So, we're gonna get our 4 cups of vinegar in here. And then we're gonna add the salt and the sugar. And we're going to bring that to a boil on the stove, but I'm not gonna turn it on yet because we want it hot and ready to go right when we're about to put the jars in the water bath. So we'll wait to turn that on until this water is boiling or almost boiling for submerging the jars.
And she'll let me know before she starts making a stinky vinegar.
I just said that when you went out in the other room. I said that's the best time for me to pour the vinegar. Because, and then when you start boiling it, whoo, yeah, it is super strong. So husband must exit the room. All right, we're gonna get the sugar and salt in here and then just have that ready to go.
So I know this is not a fashion channel, but look at these fancy breeches Miss Kara's got on. Look at those bell bottoms.
Yeah, I got super excited when I saw these online and had to have them.
What are they, little butterflies?
Yes, little butterflies.
Those are fancy.
Well, I'm a fancy girl, so I have to have fancy pants.
You definitely got fancy pants.
Alright, so we're getting our jars prepped. I just pulled these out of the dishwasher so they're still warm, which is good. We're going to be pouring hot liquid into them. And for our recipe, we're going to put in each jar 1 garlic clove. I actually cut them in half so they're each going to get 2 small cloves. They're each going to get 1 bay leaf, some dill weed. Sorry, I wish I had fresh dill, I don't. Some crushed red peppers, which are actually dried cayennes from our garden last year, and some yellow mustard seed. So I'm going to start packing all the jars with those ingredients and then the pickles on top. Alright, now I'm going to grab my pickle chips and start putting those in. Those look pretty good. So I'm jamming these pickles in here as pretty much as tough as I can because they'll start to separate as I learned before, and then you can use less brining liquid. And it also said to make sure to leave about 1/2 inch of head space, so I'm kind of going around and making sure I have the right amount in each jar. This guy's maybe a little full, but then once you pour the liquid in, it said to go ahead and double check your head space again and add or subtract to make sure you're right at that 1/2 inch. It just helps it seal properly. Alright, so our brine is boiling, so I'm about to take that off the stove. I'm going to pour it into this pitcher, which will make it much easier to fill the jars, and then we're going to put those in our water bath. So here we go. And once I get them in there, they're supposed to stay in the hot water for 15 minutes. So please let's not drop any of these. So we're going to cover these up. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. And then when that's up, we're going to take the lid off, turn off the heat, and let them sit for 5 minutes before removing. All right. So you'll see I did one with spears that I kind of snuck in at the end because I had more brine than I thought. The recipe said it would fill 5 jars, but it filled 7, and there were still some left. So I have 5 more jars of the spears. So we're basically just going to follow the same process and finish those up. And then we're going to have lots of pickles. So today we are going to do something with these shishito peppers. That's one of our favorite things in the garden, and we got lots of them. So recipe I found is for blistered shishito peppers. There's a lot of recipes that just call to chop them up and put them in a vinegar brine like jalapenos, but we love blistering ours in the cast iron skillet, so this sounded perfect for us. They're supposed to retain some of that blistered smoky flavor. They'll be a little softer probably, but still really delicious, I hope. So first, these guys are going to get blistered on the stove in the cast iron, and I've got the pot ready for the water bath canning. Get that going, and then we're going to make our brine. So once we pack our shishitos in here, we're going to dump our brine in there on top of them and water bath can them, and essentially that's it.
So that's it. That's we're gonna call this one a wrap. That's 5 jars of shishito peppers. I don't know. This video has spanned well over a week. This is the second part of the garden harvest. We got shishitos. We got jalapenos. Banana peppers. Pickles.
Yes, pickle chips and spears.
We dehydrated eggplant, squash, zucchini, cucumbers.
Yep.
We froze
Bell
peppers and cubanelles. We've been busy. I mean, it's a bunch of hours. I mean,
it's been a lot, yeah.
So this is the first year we've had this kind of harvest in the garden. It's been really cool. Again, we mentioned at the front end of this video, please leave a comment. I mean, we're kind of newbies to all this. I mean, pick away. I mean, we're here to learn as well. So if you see something we're doing wrong, right, I mean, just let us know. But this has been high five. A ton of work, ton of fun. Appreciate y'all being here.
But it's been fun, and I'm sure there'll be more next weekend.
Yep. So thank y'all for being here. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, tell your mama, tell your friends, and thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye.